Hi, welcome to another edition of A Day in the Life of a 50 plus unemployed filmmaker. I'm Patricia Tone, and today I have a story for you. I'm gonna tell you, I did some crazy stuff in my life because you know how they always say do stuff you don't know if it'll work, or you know, you don't know unless you try, right? One night I had a stand-up comedy show up in I think it was Santa Barbara. I'm gonna say Santa Barbara. It could have been Fresno, but I feel like it was Santa Barbara. It was during the time that all the black popular male figures were getting late night talk shows. Okay. You had Magic Johnson, you had Orlando Jones, you had, well, Arsenio, of course, you had Sinbad, Keenan Ivory Wayans. Sinbad was on Vibe. And Vibe, I was like so upset that none of these guys could carry the torch for having a talk show. And I used to do some jokes about some of these people in my show, in my stand-up comedy routine, right? But some kind of way I took a liking to the flow and the feel and the rhythm of Vibe. And I wish I had it, I even went to the show. I used to go to all these shows, in the 90s and be in the audience so I could see what was going on and everything. So I went to the show and they actually called me from the audience to sit in the chair next to Sinbad. Boy, I wish I had that footage. As time went on, they realized that the show wasn't going to make it. And they were looking for a new host. Baby, if I tell y'all I lost my mind because I wanted that job so badly. So at this show that I did in Santa Barbara, back in the day, it used to be you could write in to the studios or networks fan mail, right? And they would give it to the talent. They don't really do that anymore because it got to be too much, I think. And so at the show, I told everybody in the audience to write a letter to NBC to tell them that they should hire me as host of Vibe, right? And lo and behold, somebody called me from NBC. I kid you not. I went over to NBC. They wanted to see me. And I don't think they liked what they saw. And I wasn't even that overweight, I don't think, at that time, but I was a full figure girl, right? Baby, they just looked at me. But what I also didn't know was they had already hired Chris Spencer. And as a matter of fact, he was there. So I guess he wanted to see who this person is or was that all these people wrote this letter in to try to give me the job as the host of Vibe. Baby, I'm telling you, I used to get my hustle on because that's all I ever wanted to do was late night talk shows, right? A late night talk show. And I'm a writer, I'm an actress, a comedian, and I knew production. And that was something that I had practiced all my life, really, from the 80s, from studying talk shows. I was a talk show baby back then. And I loved hosting because I've always done hosting, always been the announcer or anchor at church or in a play or in just always the voice of something. And so I wanted to be a late night talk show host. And that was one of my little tactics that I that I did. And hey, I walked into NBC, little did I know, that they would call, but that was one of the little things I did back in the day. If I tell y'all, when Chris Spencer looked at me, he was like, I know her. That look on his face like, I've seen her in the clubs. How the hell? Baby, I'm trying to tell y'all, certain things you got to just go out there and try to do it because you never know. But that's what I did because that's what we used to do back in the day. You know, if you didn't know anybody, you wrote letters, you had people to call on your behalf, things like that. And they don't really do that anymore, and people don't really speak up for you. You know, you don't know all these years that people are jealous of one little itty bitty thing about you that they may have or may be jealous of, and all that stuff. And you have no idea. You have no idea that these people feel this way about you. But yeah, I tried to be the host of a late night talk show called Vibe when they let Sinbad go from the position. This has been another short edition of A Day in the Life of a 50 plus unemployed filmmaker. I'm Patricia Tone, and I'll see you next time.